Hey guys, just wanted to do my reaction review to Black Lightning season 2, episode 10. Um I guess it's like the Book of Rebellion, Angelitos Negros. Um so basically we still have I guess from the last couple of episodes we've had Khalil and Jen running away together. Jen wanting to get out from being homeschooled and just the Je- Jefferson and um, Jefferson and Lynn being overbearing about her use of powers and kind of keeping her cooped up, and with Khalil just wanting to get out from under the thumb of Tobias, especially not just because of his reluctance to carry out murdering, doing stuff like murdering Reverend Halls, but also finding out that he was involved in why he got paralyzed in the first place. And it, ended up with Khalil, getting beat up, trying to put up a fight with Tobias and lost, but eventually decided to go on the run. And um, Tobias sent an assassin known as Cutter after them. He has poisonous daggers, one which almost killed Khalil until Jennifer got the drop on Cutter, poisoned her, and threatened to let her die unless she gives up the antidote. So both Khalil and Cutter got the antidote, and they eventually, and Jennifer and Khalil were able to escape. But eventually, Lynn ends up turning up a lead in which I guess he found out from Khalil's father about how I think it's who he, yeah, I think that she's the one who told her about one of the places that Khalil will most likely to hide out, and it's basically like an apartment, like this kind of like apartment style, it's basically living in a train car, um, and setting up how just living out of that, and not even Tobias knows about it, and Khalil tries to take the opportunity to rekindle his romance with Jennifer, but he says she's not ready. She doesn't want to also lose her virginity when she's on the run. Her life is in danger. Um, but then Lynn actually manages to find the train car and is calling out to Jennifer and Khalil, even though it was pretty much kind of a stupid idea because then they just turn off the lights and just hide. And but after hearing Lynn's pleas, they both kind of decide to go back to the Pierce household. Jefferson's furious with Khalil about putting his daughter in danger, but he agrees he's got to owe up to his crimes and also just turn himself into the authorities, especially since they'll be able to protect him, or he thinks he'll be able to protect him from Tobias. And he pleads with Henderson, even though he's kind of frustrated about the whole situation, given that he wants to punish Khalil to the full extent of the law, given his attack on the school. He agrees to put him in protective custody. But Cutter ends up finding him anyway and slaughters the whole police force and brings Khalil before Tobias, in which both Todd, the tech, I guess the tech guy who got fired from his the college he worked at, and he and Cutter witnessed just Tobias just basically just rip out the spinal implant that allowed Khalil to walk with his bare hands, and just leaves him a bloody mess on the floor. You can even see the whole cavity, the spot where she ripped it out, and it's kind of graphic image. And he even goes as far as to have Khalil and the spinal implant left outside of Reverend Holt's church, basically leave Khalil to just die and just bleed to death. And essentially, he decides to pray for him. I gotta watch that shot again. I don't know if he actually took out a gun. He was actually willing to take out a gun or calling a cell phone, or maybe he took out a gun to see if anybody else was around. I don't know if he's going to shoot Khalil or not, but he basically had the church come out and start praying and I guess singing a prayer to him or something like that. But so it's kind of a sad way for him to go out, but it seems, but of course it's drama, so I guess he wasn't going to get necessarily, a happy ending. And it turns out the reason why Tobias recruited Todd was to learn the full extent of Proctor's data cache that was on the briefcase he stole, and he was able to get past the firewall. And you look into the ASA's interest in Freeland, but it turns out they bought out some rundown like real estate to hide all their illicit experiments, and even find the location of a warehouse containing super metas. And this was one of my favorite parts of the episode. This is something that my complaint about this is that how this was something that the writers didn't seem to address. I didn't like spend much time addressing. I mean, they kept hinting at the contents of that briefcase, but then it says like, oh, it says something to blackmail a politician, but it was glowing, so I thought it would be like, I don't know, like Green Light 2.0 or some kind of weapon you can use in the black market, or help solidify, strengthen his little criminal empire he's running. But it just seems, but yeah, now we got, and this is what I wanted to see, like the full extent of the contents of what he was, of what that entailed. So I'm just weird they didn't like address, spend so they didn't really spend less. They took so long to get to this because they had like all these other subplots with the Looker and the Sanjay and Purdy's, and then the whole thing with the new principal, totalitarian principal at Garfield High. That subplot just kind of just fizzled out or dropped, and they had like a couple of Green Light babies who were kind of on the run, but then it was like, okay, now we have and then that stopped because of that doctor manipulated Lynn into using administering some kind of, I guess, vaccine that which only like half the kids survived. And it just felt like it was a lot of filler. Like it wasn't building towards anything like season long. But like the mid-season finale, the 2-part mid-season finale of Legends of Tomorrow, which also has a similar problem with that. I guess they're finally addressing that issue, and the season's starting to get some traction, and we'll be building towards something interesting. So super metas, or like what else, and other secrets on that briefcase. Like now I'm looking forward to this. Now that's what's getting me excited, and maybe they'll take center stage soon, and get the show back on track. But so far, I was really happy with this episode. It was a big turning point for the season, and I'm looking forward to see. Now I feel like I'm getting back into that show. I'm starting to get more excited about it, and looking forward to see what they're going to do in the second half of the season. But anyway, guys, what do you think of the episode? I give it an 8 out of 10. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.